if Alien Ant Farm wrote Hot to Go by Chapel Roan. Ha ha! Okay.
Raise your hands now, body roll. Dance it out, you're hot to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-L. You can take me. You can take me, got to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-L. You can take me. You can take me, got to go.
Like a weird white glare around you. Alright, that's enough of that. What's up, everybody? We got a little package from Universes Games sending us a Origins of Power box. And we got this nice little playmat that I'm going to open up. I got it prepped and ready to go, but I've not seen this in person yet. So, pretty excited. Got another one to add to the collection. We got the Cowboy Bebop one down here too. They've been doing pretty good with the mats. They've been doing pretty good with the mats. Already I see that we got the Universes logo on the side. A lot of people got strong opinions about that. I don't really care. Top or bottom, it's just gotta look good with the rest of it. I think they both work, right? Here we got, see if you can see down in the bottom where this disappears behind me. These are all card arts. And they've modified like how the border works around them. Very cool stuff. If you're like a big fan of Attack on Titan, like, and you love like everything about it, this is like the perfect mat for you. I like that it's got all the different colors from all the different symbols. I'm very curious how one would look if we took the same idea, the same treatment that they've been doing, right? And let's do like a set with 12 attuned symbols, 12 symbols for single symbol cards, and then we could have one where it's every color, right? You could have like, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We could even do infinity. We could even have an infinity card. So that would be really cool, but you know, I like this a lot. They got a lot of the best cards in this set too. The Connie 4 high for 8 that becomes a momentum. Dude, I've put that like in every deck that clears the card pool. Water and air attuned about to be so confusing. Yeah, maybe. I think the blue from water would be stand out. I think it would be different, but you're not wrong. We're still about 40 subs away from the tier list goal. Now we've got Attack on Titan, Origins of Power. Let me. Never good at doing. There we go. Get the product labeling in there. Origins of Power. What's the blurb say? 24 booster packs of 11 random cards each for the Attack on Titan Origins of Power CCG. All cards are compatible with the entire universe's minimum 60 card deck plus 1 character required to play. And then it's got links for if you're new to universes, you can pick up a Clash deck. That's about it. Nothing on the correlation. We'll see. Now, I don't pay attention to card rarities very much. I'm pretty bad about that. I just look at stuff on Ultra. So the layout should help me identify them, but I'll probably be surprised at like which cards are ultra rares and which ones are not. But I don't think we're gonna get like a $50 risky encounter rare. Let's slide these over here. Let's get into it. I'm sure you guys have seen all these cards before, right? You don't need me to go like card by card. I'm like the 10th content creator to be doing this. Still gonna use my teeth. I should just get scissors by now. I did so many box openings. And like the first couple were easy. But as time has gone on, it's been harder and harder. All my bags I use for packs are full from. I'm gonna go there for now. So we'll do the first couple packs, but I feel like there's so many commons that there's no way I'm gonna be able to like go until we get duplicates, you know? Get the unforeseen development. I love this cycle, by the way. It's such a simple idea, and it's such a good idea. The only thing is, I'm not sure, I guess there's supposed to be enemy symbols, right? But it'd be really cool if we did this with like the full set of symbols. But I love the cycle where it's like, this is a death attuned card. It hates on life attuned attacks. Here's an infinity one. This is just humanity's hope. It's basically every keyword you could need. Like every keyword in the set. Charge, fury, ranged weapon. Probably very good for draft environment when you would need to you need to get like a specific theme going. Serum transformation. This one's on the mat, right? This one's on the mat. We got serum transformation. The 5 low 5/5 diffs. Breaker 1. That's it. It just has breaker 1. Not gonna focus. I want it to focus on the art though. I think the art is very cool. This was one of the better scenes from the manga. I'll be pretty sad if I can't in there. Yeah, that's the massive transformation in front of Eren when he's like tied up as a sacrifice. I mean, these are spoilers, but screw you. It's a 15-year-old anime at this point. We're on the second set. You should have watched it by now. I wish Serum Transformation was a cooler card too. this would have been this would have been such a good scene to have, like, as a secret rare action. I think this should have been an action, not an attack. Deadly Pitch. Beast Titan is very cool. He's a big fan of baseball, so all of his stuff is him throwing things. Makes a lot of sense. They brought the flavor through. It's a lot of card advantage too. Thunder Spear demo. So this is an old card called Repaying a Debt. Very simple effect. It's now a 4 check though, which I think kills it. I think I've always hated how aggressive 4 checks look. Aggressive 4 checks don't really work because most players would just rather check a 5 than ready a foundation. It's very difficult to make aggressive 4 checks work. 4 checks should be reserved for incredibly powerful defensive cards. And I think that you should increase difficulty of powerful offensive cards. So if it has to go above a 3 difficulty to have a 5 check, probably can't make it happen. You know what would have been a cool use of Serum Transformation? An action that sacrifices your backups to pick up an attack with an equal difficulty to it, or removes your backups. Maybe. I think the Serum Transformation, it could have been like sacrifice a backup. Well, no, because we have even some of the Transformer, like the Shifter Titans are also backups. So I think it could have been like sacrifice a backup to build a backup. But we already kind of have that on an attack, but it's like done through milling. So like swap out, like make it like Creation, right? Creation, what was it, the Creaty Cannon Strike? Where you like sack a backup to get a backup that's more impressive. I think they could have done that. Intentions made clear, we got the mob bosses. Enhance your attack, commit 1 rival foundation. This card is probably better than it should be. I don't know how much it's going to see play, but just target commit every turn? Like, every turn, every time you attack? Definitely going to win some games playing it. Here's Connie. This Connie is way better than the first one. I don't know how much damage reduction you can get going to make a bunch of momentum, but it's very cool that neither of Connie's abilities are once per turn. Ooh, we got our first ultra rare here. We got the fixed Hardened Jab. Clearly the problem with Hardened Jab that it had an enhance on it. We got the Signal Shot here. If you guys have not read the manga, they use flares while riding on horseback to communicate over long distances. That's kind of what this is, which makes sense. Armin's, you know, right along, he's preparing, getting the resources together, getting in formation. What this attack does, it gets your resources where you need it. And I dig what they did with the background. I don't know how well you guys can see it here, but the background is like all the other panels happening around this art. So I love that. That's probably where they finally got me. Like, I've come around on the art and the new layouts and designs, and for this specifically with the manga art, they got me with the panels in the background to bolster like the upfront art. So we got Historia's Declaration, another 3 diff on order. This time you flip, choose a card in any stage. If it has 1 or more wall counters on it, you get +2 or -2 damage. Then it gets 2 more wall counters. You're gonna have to cook a lot with that one. You're gonna have to cook to get somewhere. Big to contain. This one's kind of scary. I know this one scares some people. After it resolves, destroy a ready rival foundation. So you might as well commit out to block it. It's not super impressive for its stats, but it's not allowed to be. Because after it's over, they get to tow something. So a very good lead-off attack. Very good go-in attack. Connie's Incapacitating Strike. Got stun 1. If it's a second or... Oh no, if it's the second card you have played this turn, you get a free momentum. Very simple. Too big sucks. Yeah, it's pretty annoying to fight. It's the kind of thing where if you're already winning and you can safely resolve the too big to contain, you're probably just winning on the spot. I wouldn't say it's a win more card, but definitely wings the game. Alright, we got pierce the leg, 5 diff, 4 low, 5. Clear one other attack from your card pool. Very simple, very easy. The 5 diff makes it pretty tough to justify, though. Murderous Escalation. Got a 2/5 commit for 3 damage. Everyone needs. Distracting Yell, 1/5. Attack gets -2 speed unless it's the death symbol. It's part of that cycle we talked about. Yeah, Reiner does have a lot of destroy cards. Card stock feels thick, boy. Planning a coup. The 1/5 set to overthrow the government. Kind of relevant with tomorrow, right, guys? That's a joke, Twitch. Please don't swap my house. Come on. Oh, this one's a common. You just sacrifice a foundation. This attack gets -1 speed. Not quite release, but we'll take it. Got reflexive shot. It's a vanilla 6/4. Pretty nice limited stats. There's crash to the floor. A mid for 5, stun 2. Not back alley haymaker, but it's a weapon. Luckily, it doesn't have death or life. Danny Ackerman, the Ripper. This guy's probably insane and limited just because of the choices you have to make. They're pretty tough. He gives ranged and weapon attacks 1/1. Then, after your non-throw attack deals damage, doesn't matter what keyword it is, but it has to be to a character. Draw 2 cards, or your rival loses 3 health and discards a card. When I first read this, I thought it was your rival could discard a card to cancel and not lose 3 health and discard a card. I thought he was pretty bad. That's pretty great. We got a rare here. We got Deadly Conflict. I don't think the action in this set hit quite as hard as the ones from last set, but they have better checks. So I thought Chomp was going to be everywhere. Just focus. Like, it was doing it earlier. I don't understand. All the test runs, it autofocuses perfectly. Then once I'm live, there we go. Deadly Conflict. From the battle with Harley Titan. Your attack deals damage to a character, they lose 2, you gain 2. Then first form remove. You sack 1, they sack 1. Pretty good for overall destruction count. But I sack 1, you sack 1 at the start of my turn. Tough to justify. Here's Desperate Plea. Desperate Plea is after you block, you can build the card face up or face down. So very versatile. You can block with attacks. Blocking with outwit cards, even though you're not really outwitting your opponent at that point. You're just kind of threatening them. Yeah, I think Desperate Plea is very good. We got Concerned for Annie. After this card is discarded or sacrificed, so not enters, your attack gets 2 speed. Very specific decks are going to want this, but I expect it to pick up steam if Combined is gone. Then discard and sacrifice will look a lot more appealing. Then Push the Advantage is one of my favorite new cards. After you clear 1 or more cards from your card pool, you get to draw a card. Clear is still the bad wording, but what are you going to do? It's usable card draw for the air symbol. rather than all the random card draw it's been getting. I'll take it. The last pack where I'll go through every card and then we're just going to be rare hunting, I think. We got Gathering Supplies, +2 high, 1/5. Stack of Foundation gives speed. What? You were cutting wood? I don't want to go soft. Casa is showing off how tough she is. Got Airborne Assault, another vanilla 5 low 4. This time it's 1 less speed, but it's 1 better zone. Got Cleaning Duty, another pretty good part of the manga. Aaron is a kind of a doofus, but Levi is a neat freak. Any surprise attack, 6 mid 4. You get to add a card from your momentum to your hand, and if you do, you get +2 damage. Self-made 6 mid 6 with the recursion effect. Opening maneuver, 3 low 6, stun 1. Blitz mill 2, it's +1 to its stun ring for each attack. If you hit 2 attacks with this, it's crazy. If you hit no attacks with this, it's pretty bad. But I bet you it's not as bad as it sounds to hit no attacks with it. If you have other things to casino respond with. So opening maneuver is probably better than we give it credit for. Reinforcements is crazy. After you sack it to pay a cost, you get to build one. We do have a slightly better version than this, right? We've got the Bui Foundation that is pound for pound just better than reinforcements in basically every way. However, reinforcements is attuned, so you can play it on other symbols than Bui symbols. So I expect to see this card get picked up quite a bit. We got Gene, Dependable Competitor. Gene's got a weird ability for a 7-hander. He's got response commit. After you get hit, you get to pick up an attack, which is not something you see on a 7-hander very often. Both the take damage trigger or the ability to tutor an attack. Then his enhance, I always forget. Your attack gets 1 damage. It's an additional damage for every 2 non-action cards. So they obviously want you to play his foundation from the last set. All the stuff that clears the card pool. Here's our rare. We got Levi's Relentless Spirit. Now I've talked to some people, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I think Levi's Relentless Spirit kind of wild. You can ready it 3 times and then it flips. You know, and then it'll be face down for you to sacrifice, commit against, destroy, whatever you need to do. Come on, just focus. I don't know why it's being so hard. But a lot of decks that want this are also clearing the card pool, and they do not want a 4-check. So I do think this is one of the best panels that we got in card art. It's so funny, you know, it's like so what's the word? Like evocative, right? But +4 mid block, 4 check for your aggro deck. This, I can tell you right now, this, if we had reversals, would increase in stock dramatically. Here's Devour. It's a 4 check attack, 6 low 6. After it deals, you gain 5. Just a guy getting eaten. Little Attack on Titan things, you know? He's just a little dude getting snatched up and gobbled. Oh, okay. So this is, if you guys are in some of the Discords, You know, I've been waiting for this card to get a card art for basically the entire time since I read the manga. And I think it's very funny. Unsettling eating habits, enhance or move, add one card with difficulty 1 from your discard pile to your momentum. That's really strong, I think. A big issue with a lot of the debuild yourself for momentum cards is that they've all been 2 difficulty. And they usually have a condition on top of it. The best ones I've seen are now the Tenacious one, which still has a condition that you probably aren't doing on your first attack, even with the Tenacious quality. And then this one, basically the condition is have 1 diffs in your deck. You know, check 1, destroy 1, discard 1. So I could see this card becoming an issue pretty quickly. Just for strategies that really just need like 1 momentum, or strategies that are zucking up a bunch of momentum. And I think the art is hilarious. I just wish it was foil. Imagine if the juices coming off that meat look shiny and real and delicious. The quote, "What the hell do you think you're doing, potato girl?" Then we got Betraying Marco. +2 high block, 2/5. Marco's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Got mill 1. If you have at least 1 backup and at least 1 asset in your stage, this attack gets +1/+1. So if you fit these criteria, that's pretty strong. 1/1 on every attack for basically free. That's pretty good. Oh, the tab is on the right. Oh my god. I was wondering why it was so hard. Dude, I've been opening retro packs where they don't have the tab. The tab is just over on the side. Alright, well now we're back to form. What we got. Okay. A rare is Sword Advantage. I am so happy that they have the character that reveals things from their hand. And they have cards that do things when you reveal them in your hand. It seems pretty obvious when you put it like that, but not a lot of games do that. So this one's cool. I do think it's kind of whack that, you know, you're showing them attacks that you're probably going to play. But this one's a 3-diff with a good block, so it's pretty good overall. When you reveal it from your hand, your attack gets 1 damage. And after you play this card, you can look at the top card of your deck and discard it, which not a bad ability at all. It just doesn't feel like it fits the current speed of the format. But I could see like a Carson Panos or a George Zhang like ripping tons of value from it. And yeah, Mikasa sharing with Mount Lady and May would have made a lot of sense, but don't get me started on shared kits. Don't get me started on cross-pollination strategy. We got a Reiner character card here. Ooh, okay, we got our Outwit rare. This is definitely one of the better Outwit cards. We didn't get a lot of them. There's pretty much 2 that are great, and then there's Titan Injection, which is kind of fine, I guess. I don't think it's too crazy. Come on. We got the Desperate Tactics. There's Armin. Armin's sad little face. Scared. After your rival plays an ability that reduces the speed or damage of your attack, they commit 1. So the trigger's a little weird, but it's probably going to happen. Your rival's probably going to play some interaction. And you get to commit 1 to commit 1. Always good on the rival turn. Probably wins you once. Oh! Oh my, we got our first double hit. Waiting for these. Somebody tell me what the market on the character alts are. I don't know how many of these show up, how rare these are. I don't think they're too rare, but there's a Mikasa. The Mikasa. I don't know how to say it. I've heard it said both ways in the show. So. There's Mikasa 2. We were just talking about her. Her whole thing is she reveals 2 weapon cards. She gets +2 or -2 speed. And then she gets to look at the top of her deck and discard the card. Oh, if it's a weapon, it goes to your hand. That's cool. You give me $5. That makes me think it's worth more than $5. Here's Readied Shot. I think this card is dangerous. 3 high for 4, stun 1, solid. You get a 1 diff to your hand, solid. In this format, there's a lot of specific 1-ofs, like 1 diffs, I mean. And then after it deals damage, you gain health for each of your momentum. This card is dangerous. This can cause such a weird swing out of nowhere. On top of the fact that this picks up 1 difficulty actions. And guess which 1 difficulty action we're all curious to know about tomorrow on the ban and errata list. So this card makes me think that combined firepower can't be real, dude. Like, we're just gonna play it from our hand. We don't even need to remove cards from the discard pile anymore to get it started. Then when you mill 4 with combined, you're gonna bing bong. And then you can play combined with what's the other one? You can't play it with Sugar Rush, which is good. But there's another one. Also, you can do this with Sugar Rush symbols. Oh, it's so nasty. Oh, here's a cool UR, I think. Yeah, it's the one I was thinking of. So this card, I'm afraid that Toga players, Toga 3, this ends up not making it into my Toga list because I keep doing really specific stuff. But this seems like a nuts Toga card. It comes in as this first attack. You're going to stun 1. It's going to blitz, and you're going to destroy it or lose 3. So turn 2, you're losing 3, like 90% of the time, right? Then it's an 8 high 6. If it deals, she gets a momentum. And then she can discard that momentum to echo it, stun you again. And then you have to either lose 3 or you have to lose another foundation. So it can be like destroy 2 foundations and threaten like 10 damage, or it threatens 16 damage, 6 of which is not really interactable, but it is your choice. So like, I'm scared for Toga 3 with that one. The overall lackluster stats on the second one, I mean, 5 high for 4 is not lackluster, I guess, but it's not, you know, you want your 5 diffs to swing for like 6 or 7, so you gotta pump that one a bit. Uh-oh. Here's another one that is on my radar a bit. We got a double-sided card. Got the Armored Titan Rush. So 7 div, 6 mid, 9. Luckily, this one's a 3 check. As a 4 check, this card is nuts. But the damage can't be reduced below 9. And your rival can't block with a non-attack card. And it has Ruin 1. This card does so much. I think this card is actually kind of crazy and like no one's talking about it. You can't play face tank defense with invincible body, so like Smilings get hit by this. You can't block it with evading copy or, you know, so many things. And then you flip it on the other side and it's reduced to 0. And it's not a first enhance. It's unique though. But yeah, this one I'm like super afraid of. Non-first enhance invincible body? On top of the fact that it's swinging at you for 9? And it's, I don't know. I feel like that card should have been 8 difficulty. I almost would have preferred if that card was like a 9/4. Also sacrifice? Yeah, it's not remove. Oh, okay, here's the Levi attack. Got Rooftop Rumble. This is the only 4-check weapon for Levi to play. And after it resolves, if you commit a foundation, you get to ready a foundation. So the background is so sick on this one. This is like one of the best examples of Levi just being, you know, better than everyone else. But it's a 6 mid for 5 for 6. And it doesn't ready the foundation you committed to play it. So if you swing this with Levi, you can play it on a 6, make it 9 speed and burn them for 4. So you have like a 9/9, like a make your own 9 mid 9, which is fine, but earth shattering. I guess if you combine it with smell these, you probably get a lot more going on. There's another one of these actions. I don't know if these actions count as like a cycle, but I don't think every symbol gets one or anything, but bring change to the world. Everyone's celebrating. We overthrew the government. We get to go to the ocean. We're the masters of our own destinies. You get to gain 3 health. If you have 10 or less, you gain 5. And then response after your attack deals damage to a character. It doesn't count towards progressive. And you can't play copies again. So, kind of a neat little trade-off. You can't jam 4 in your deck. But I don't think, like if you're playing 2 copies of that on a turn, probably gotta have some really nice card draw or just the nuttiest hand to even take advantage of it. Oh, speaking of, another one of these actions. It's the fire one. That's the life one. Here's the fire one. This attack gets 4 damage. And remove after your attack deals damage to a character, draw a card. It's a 2-diff. This is like a great limited card. I feel like this should have been an uncommon. But what do I know? It also could have been a 1-diff so I could pick it up with the Sasha card. I would have liked that a lot. Add that to your hand and be like, I'm threatening to draw a card. Speaking of Sasha, here is Sasha's steady shot. 2 mid for 6. This is a card I got to preview. It's got EX and powerful. And then it gets 1 speed for each card with printed difficulty 1 in your stage. So I think this one has potential to get really fast. And with the new Sasha, like, zucking up momentum, I was not impressed when I saw the reveal for that card. Now that I've seen the character for it, and I've seen what all the 1-diffs do, and I've seen all the cards you can draw as Sasha with it, I'm much more impressed. The fact that she gets to add X speed and X damage to this attack before deciding where she spends the momentum is also a huge reason why I came around on it. We got Smoke Screened Ambush. It's a rare. 3 mid for 4. Come on. Gets 2 speed and 2 damage if it's the 3rd or greater card played this turn. I think this one is probably better than it looks too. This is definitely a Mikasa card. If it's the 3rd attack she plays, it's probably going to be an 8 mid 6. That's pretty solid. And I like that it's 3rd or greater. So, yeah, I said or. She gets to put speed or damage before deciding where to spend the moment. There's the option between speed and damage. If it was speed and damage, she would be by far the best character they've printed since Jiro. Titan's Grasp, another shift attack. This one I don't know about. Oh, it's not a shift, it's a throw. I'm sorry. I still don't know about it. It's a 5 difficulty, 8 damage throw. And it's got a deadlock ability for 5 more damage. If you're really pressed for an 8 damage throw, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's cool that they got Rod Rice in so many of the card arts, but I do feel like that whole art gets like glossed over too fast. I remember it just being like, oh, it's already over, like within the same chapter. Alright, we got another maneuvers card. This is the air action. Skillful maneuvers. This time instead of damage, you get 4 speed. Or you can clear 1 card from your card pool, and then you can't play copies of it. I really don't know how to evaluate this card. I feel like even only being able to play 1 copy a turn, we would have been chomping at the bit to play that card like 2 sets ago. You know, like back at Worlds when Endeavor won Worlds, like any air character that showed up would have been packing that card for sure. Maybe not. Maybe air decks were still on the Falling Skies. I really hate that air has this broken identity right now where it's clear the card pool, clear the card pool, clear the card pool. Get like no real payoff for it, like fairly cost for it. Not much payoff, no interaction with the opponent's board. We're starting to get the card draw finally, but then it's like it has foundation readying the card draw, and then you just have to overcome your opponent by checking well from there because the cards aren't quite static good enough, and the repetition of all the card pool clearing just doesn't add what it's missing, you know? There's just a couple things that are like really missing. More cards like Full Calling might work, but I don't know. There's only so much you can clear your card pool before you have to add speed and damage. So you got 2/5 +3 mid, last second rescue. This is the card that we're thinking is going to make Recovery Girl bonkers. To me, this is Life's version of negating an attack. This is Life's version of Cape of No Return. It's Life's version of Invincible Body, however you want to think about it. Last format, last set, everyone was talking about how Life can't deal with Smiling Titan level attacks. This is how you deal with Smiling Titan level attacks. Unfortunately, it doesn't deal with like the 13 diff when you have to flip everything and ruin everything first. So it doesn't deal with like every big attack, but it's doing what it can. Oh, this card looks really nice in person. This actually pops off really well with color. We got Determined Dive. We got Historia jumping in the fray here. 3i for 5. Draw a card if you have a wall counter. One needed the erratas. Draw a card if you got a wall counter. And then you get to build the top card of your deck down committed. So this card, if you're playing a wall counter deck, man, I don't know. It gives the new Historia wall counter and it draws you a card. That's sick. This is so much faster when I don't feel like I have to explain every single card in the pack. Oh, here's our order action to go with our Queen Historia card. Enhance, draw 2 cards. Enhance, remove, commit 1 rival foundation. 5. Very simple stuff. A power creeped engine rush. Guess I got rid of the breaker 1 low block. Oh! Oh ho ho! We got our secret rare for the box. I was starting to worry. I haven't seen a Pearl, Obsidian, or a secret. And we got one of the better ones. Survey Corps' Teamwork. 5 difficulty, 5 mid, 5. Got the band back together. Got everyone involved. And then your next 2 attacks get 1 speed and 2 damage. And you can rezone them. This one card is like a 7 mid for 9. It brings 7 speed and 9 damage in stats. But it spreads them out over other attacks and the zone change? Come on. card is sick, especially if you're able to clear your card pool and you just get to keep playing things on 5s. I would not be surprised if this becomes like the new way to play air aggro, because I was just complaining about not getting stats, and that's an air tuned card that gives stats to multiple attacks. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, we got an ultra rare asset here. Got our Thunder Spear. Thunder Spear has a funny static. So you cannot load these up in your stage. You can only have 2 of them, which is thematic. Because this gives a bucket of stats. It's got +0 mid block. Ranged weapon keywords. Then sacrifice your ranged attack, it's 3 damage. And your next attack, it's 3 speed. I love like the purple on this. They got like the background panels with like Aaron's shifter eyes. Very, very cool stuff. I expect to see quite a few Thunder Spears on November 9th. So another ultra rare, another Thunder Spear. All right, we got Historia card and then Historia rare and then Historia action. Now we've got Thunder Spear ultra rare into Hanji's Thunder Spear Strike ultra rare. That looks really good though. I love like the background is green, because if they had made Hanji green for this one, it would have been pretty weird. Normally the character is the color of the symbol, but it was smart to make the background green and make Hanji not green. But this one's got powerful 3. It's a 4 low 4, so it's a solid 4 diff. But what makes it ultra rare is it's actually a 3 diff if you're low health, and then if you've destroyed a foundation, which you're playing Attack on Titan cards, I'm sure that's happened. It gets 2 speed and 1 damage. So 3 diff, 6 low, 5. I'm here for it. And the best part is it gets around flashing and stealing because it has the continuous abilities that'll fire first. So very, very very flexible around a lot of different types of defense. Still looking for a pearl or obsidian, or of course a chrome rare. A chrome would be, you know, the creme de la creme. Here's our foil character. So are all the Bertolt's foil? He's an ultra rare, right? No, he's a rare character. Okay. Got Bertolt 2. Hopefully this guy gets errated. Hopefully they can foil both sides of the double face cards. But then we got the Viciousness of Kenny Ackerman. This one is how I remember when I originally read Kenny's character ability. This is how I read it. After your attack deals damage to a character, your rival loses 3 health, or they can discard a card to cancel. So I'm wondering if there's a deck where I can just spam Blindside Slash and build Kenny Viciousness of Kenny Ackerman's to the point where you just discard your hand for me. You know, if I just commit my whole stage every turn, then you discard your hand to stay alive. Probably too slow. Very annoying in draft, I'm sure, though. You're probably not completely blocking as often, and discarding cards to save 3 health is probably about the same as a partial block. So you're probably better off just letting him commit. Here we got short range shot. I'm also a little afraid of this one. This one has a lot of triggers that can go off. 7 mid for 3 baseline, really solid. Beats a lot of resets that way by having a good high speed stat. Then after 1 or more foundations are destroyed or cards are discarded, it gets 1 damage. So obviously you're going to start going through, pressing all your buttons, blowing up your stage one by one, you know. The new Hanji blows up 2, so that's going to get damage there, right? And then your rival sacrifices a foundation and discards a card is a solid opener deadlock. You know, if your opponent's at like 12 or 13 and you can afford to have them sack one ready because everything's ready, they just built and passed, and get a discard to start things off before doing your like more potent deadlock. I mean, discard a card deadlock is pretty solid, but at the deadlock stage, you would hope that they, whoa, you know, build some card draw or something to have a competitive game is what I'm trying to say. We got last pack Magic, the best pack to put a Chrome in if I had to get. And, you know, I'll settle for another secret rare or something. But no Pearl or Obsidian yet. And as I say that, no other. Okay, so I guess the Pearl takes the place of the Ultra Rare. You got the Ultra Rare Alt Art. Risky Gamble. The 1/5 Outwit Risky Gamble. So this is the other good. I mentioned there's probably two really good Outwits. I like this one. Outwit, after your rival draws a card, you can draw a card. And then the Deadlock ability flips it back down to destroy a rival foundation. So a 1/5 targeted destruction is solid for a Deadlock. I think that's pretty good. And then the Outwit to like commit a 1-diff and draw is fine. The issue, of course, is getting it face down, right? So, all in all, not a bad box. I like the SR, probably one of the better SRs. What do you guys think? Is Survey Course Teamwork the best SR? Is that the best one? What would have been the best SR to get? What would have been the best character alt? I wish I had an alt character of Mikasa 1. Even with the errata, Mikasa 1 is still pretty cool for like, you know, turn your brain off, jam some fast gameplay. That being said, you have her alt 1? That's nice. Yeah, I think the alt 1 is much better too. This one just gives me like anxiety vibes. Like with the swirly background, kind of hard to see, right? It just looks like anxiety lines from an anime. I don't know. Either way, that's gonna do it for the box opening. If anyone wants to jam some games on TTS, I'm down to do that. But for right now, not sure what else to do if I don't have anyone in queue. I got tacos calling my name for dinner tonight, so no one's down to jam some games. I'm probably not gonna hang out for too long. Remind me if I make it now so you can bring it with you. That would be cool. Second best, defeating Colossus Titan is probably the best. Okay. Levi 2 is going to be a good stable alt art. I hope so. Levi 2 seems like a solid character. It's kind of sad how much not being able to commit him to pay his cost like affects his top end, like his really close games. But usually you do that kind of stuff defensively, so it's not too big of a deal. If I do this, what happens? There we go. So that's it for my box. I'm sad I didn't get a Chrome, of course, but the likelihood of that happening is still pretty low. A lot of Chromes seem to get posted on Facebook, but I mean, that's also the concentration of everybody who pre-ordered all their cases, right? That's the concentration of everybody opening stuff as soon as they can. Next for the stream, next for the channel, probably gonna be trying to dual stream. I'm gonna try to stream on Facebook and Twitch. I gotta get stuff set up for that, and it's a little harder than I thought it would be. We're going to try and do that, though, pretty soon. I think that'll help get my outreach just a little bit. It'll help people who aren't maybe on Discord at the exact moment or on Facebook to get a YouTube notification. Might be a little easier. Because, like, YouTube will always tell me when David is streaming. Right? Like, I have YouTube open. This is kind of sad. I have YouTube open in a tab, like, 24/7. I'm always playing music. I'll always pop on, like, old sports highlights. You know, wrestling highlights are great, right? Like, anything in between work sessions, in between phone calls, in between anything I'm doing that needs sound, really, right? Like, again, background music. So anytime I got YouTube open, anytime I'm looking at it and someone is streaming, it'll tell me. So I'm hoping that that'll help with the outreach a little bit. But other than that, the YouTube is going to get probably just the finals of all the regionals I can find recordings of. Shout outs to Uncanny Girl for basically cataloging the history of competitive universes. Because I don't have the equipment really to do it. I tried to do it and my quality was so bad, man. I don't know if you guys can tell on some of the YouTube beam edits, but the quality on a lot of those is just really, really, really bad. They're just the only clip I could get, you know? It's the only resolution I could record it at. And it took so long or whatever to get anyways. But other than that, I gotta start hunkering down. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna play in the webcam championship. So once the ban announcement tomorrow happens, I'll probably be trying to grind games a lot more often, and if I can stream it, that's gonna be a plan. Hopefully my internet cooperates and I can stream the webcam championship. But in lieu of any immediate participation, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. This is gonna get uploaded to YouTube. So hopefully if anyone missed it, you guys watched it just now. You probably didn't watch it this with me rambling about the future of content. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Thank you again to Universes Games for sending me this awesome box. Once again, we got a beautiful alt art. We got the Mikasa alt art there. We got the wonderful Pearl treatment on the new Outwit card. And of course, our secret rare. Chat's telling me it's the second best, but I don't know. I think Survey Corps' teamwork, it would probably be considered better than the defeating the Colossus Titan if it had a chaos instead of air. That's my take, but I'll catch you guys.